My husband just walked by in a towel. And I'm having a Coke Zero. Howdy y'all, my name is Gretchen and I am the Restless Thrifter. I'm a part-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and today's video is going to be a sales update for the last week and a few days of October, so October 22nd through 31st. And I'll give you a wrap up of all of October as well, and let me tell you, it was a new record. I'm sure I'll probably put that in the thumbnail. So it's not really a spoiler alert because I'm going to tell you right away. It was a brand new record. Last month was a new record for me. Now this month is a new record for me. Will November be a new record? I don't know, time will tell. I'll be sharing with you profit on each of my top 10 sales, as well as anything that sold within 14 days or less. And then I'll talk about some lessons learned, some bad buys. I had during this time period 78 sales, which is great. I don't usually have that many. I was really clearing some things out. So I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about sales and how I ran them and whether they worked. And I will tell you they did, but I didn't make money on everything. I made negative amounts on more items than ever. And you might wonder, why would I do that? Well, I'm moving my business from Dallas area to Denver area. And I was down here taking care of family, and it's time for me to go back. And so I am trying to get as much of my money pile photographed, inventoried, which for me is putting it in a little plastic sleeve and putting an inventory number on it and putting it in a bin. And I'm trying to get as much of my money pile done as possible. It's not all going to be listed, but I will have the photographs and it'll be where it needs to be when I do go to sell it, so that the move is a little bit easier because I'm not just grabbing IKEA bag after IKEA bag of money pile, which means I needed to make room in those bins for these items. And so I was really clearing out a lot of older stuff, taking offers, running sales, and we'll talk a little bit about that as I get to some of these items. I said I was going to jump right in. I didn't. Now I'm going to jump right in. The number 10 out of my top 10 sales is a pair of Rock Revival size 27 Irene Easy Boot Cut Distressed Rhinestone Jeans. Rock Revival and Miss Me, you know, the blingy jeans, don't sell as well as they used to for me. And I'm probably going to be very picky on what I pick up. Rock Revival still does better than Miss Me for me though. This pair took 82 days to sell on Poshmark, and this sold for $34. It was full price-ish. The same day I relisted it, it sold for the $34, and I had dropped it a little bit. Cost of goods was about $5, and my profit after fees and after shipping expenses, which is $0 on Poshmark, my profit was $22.20. Next item is something that was actually returned to me on eBay for fit, which is fine. I take returns, especially for fit. You know, that's not a problem. They just don't get refunded the shipping cost of it. But this was a pair of St. John Black Label size 10 navy trouser pants, straight leg wool spandex blend. And I read off my titles to you so you can see what I'm listing and what keywords I'm using and that type of thing. This pair of pants sold in 194 days on eBay. It sold through a customer offer and through promoted listings, and it sold for $57.20. My cost of goods was $8.55, and my profit was $25.47. St. John is a really expensive brand, and when I say St. John, I don't mean St. John's Bay like the JCPenney. I think probably everyone knows that. But if you're new and you aren't familiar with St. John, and I wasn't familiar with it when I started reselling, just know there is a difference there in what you're looking for. Next item is a fun one. It's Psycho Bunny size large pajama bottom pants. Robert Godley, pockets red and white. Psycho Bunny is also a high retail brand. Like sweatpants are $180. I don't know how much these pajama bottoms retailed for, but they sold on Poshmark in 32 days for $39. and my cost of goods was $4.32. Profit was $26.88. I think this brand gets missed by thrift stores that like to mark things up because they're not as familiar with it, at least this particular one. Psycho Bunny pajama pants have a 47% sell-through rate, so that's awesome. Time for me to put my sell-through rate lesson here. I'll show you so you can see why I think 47% is good. It's because my sell-through rates cap out at 100%. Next item is an exclusively Miss Hook vintage 80s size extra large knit color block cardigan shoulder pads. I find a lot of vintage Miss Hook, and that's not to be confused with Miss Look. Miss Look is a cheap brand. Miss Hook is a pricey brand, and I don't know how much it really sells modern day, but I know I find a lot of vintage. I found some recently and I didn't pick it up because it wasn't on sale, and I was like, I'm trying to stay away from higher cost of goods, especially right now when I have to haul all my stuff back. But this sold in 105 days on eBay, and a customer accepted my offer of $35.88, and it sold a couple days after relisting. So remember to relist your items. What I do for relisting is I use Vendoo. I go in and I look at my active listings. I sort by stale list, and it'll put your older items up at the top, like things that haven't been listed lately. And I'll go through and open 10 at a time. I open 10 tabs. I edit my listings to make them a little bit better. And on eBay, that means I'm adding some more item specifics because I'm lazy. And when I initially list an item on eBay, I do not put very many item specifics, or I wasn't. I'm trying to do better now. And so I'll add item specifics. I'll tweak the price maybe. Sometimes I raise it, sometimes I lower it. When I lower it, I'll usually lower it by $1 just to see what happens. So I do that every day. I try to do at least 10 listings a day, sometimes up to 30 or 40. Anyhow, this sold for $45.82. A reminder on eBay, when I'm telling you how much something sold for, it's including the cost of shipping that the buyer paid. On the screenshot, it is not going to match up with what I'm telling you, because if they sent an offer, it doesn't show the offer price. When they pay for shipping, it doesn't add that in. And even if it was a buy it now with shipping shown, it may not be the exact shipping price they paid, because it's showing based on my location of where I am located right now when I took the screenshot, not where the buyer was located, if that makes sense. So it's never going to really add up. My cost of goods was $2.50, and my profit was $28.89. Next item is something that's also a fast flip, something that sold in less than 14 days. It is a soft surroundings size medium blazer Westbury Garden floral metallic jacquard tapestry. Gorgeous, very beautiful fall colors, some purple in there with orange and black. And I think in my description I mentioned that it would be great for Halloween or Thanksgiving or any sort of holiday party. It's just beautiful, and it is a little Asian inspired with the closure in the front. This sold in 7 days on eBay for $53.27, and I had paid $8.65. My profit was $29.21. And this is a perfect example of something soft surroundings that I would want to pick up to resell. I do try to stay away from their basics unless they're like new, or maybe even in the larger sizes, because I do specialize in plus size. But this is a perfect example of one of those specialty items. It's just got a little pizzazz. Next item is something that when I saw it at the store, I'm like, that looks different. Let me look it up. And I had found good comps. I found a comp of $75 for this thing. WWE AJ Styles size large vest P1 wrestling replica hooded faux leather studded open. I mentioned costume, cosplay, Halloween, all in my keywords in the listing. Sold in 22 days on eBay. This could have been for a Halloween costume. It is in the right time period, but I don't know, maybe not. And my price it sold for was $57.30. I paid about $5, and my profit was $32.74. Apparently, this is a vest similar to the one some wrestler wears. I'm not familiar with these guys. I am familiar with Reselling from the 90s, like early 90s. And only because we only had like 2 channels where I lived on TV, Army brat. So when we lived overseas, we had like 2 English channels, and WWF, not WWE. WWF was on then. Why did they change to WWE? I don't really care. Don't tell me. Okay, the next item. So I showed these in a haul, and that's 2 sport coats that I bought. I paid up for these a little bit too. And it's a brand that I had never sold before because I didn't think it had great resale value. And this was Joseph A. Bank. Joss A. Bank, it's abbreviated JOS. So Joseph A. Bank. And I see these sport coats and suits all the time in this brand, one after the other. And they price them up sometimes because I guess they think they're fancy. They're nice suits, but they're not like a Chiton or a Brioni or even a Hart Schaffner Marks or a Hickey Freeman. They don't retail for as much as those types of brands, and they are more saturated in the market. So you see them a lot. And I decided to pick these up because they were Joseph A. Bank Reserve, which means they had a nicer fabric content. The first one is a Joseph A. Bank Reserve size 48 long sport coat wool cashmere 2-button shepherd check. This sold in 3 days on eBay, super fast, and it sold for $73.02. I had paid $16.23, so my profit was $37.61, which I love. That's awesome. Sport coats do take me a while to list. I timed myself, and it takes me at least 10 minutes to list one it takes me 20 minutes to list. 10 minutes to do the photographing and measuring, and then 10 minutes to do the actual listing. And that's a minimum. That's without any interruptions. I time myself. And so that takes me a while. So I do want to get my profit, out of those. $25 at least, but $37 is great. And I'll skip one just so I can talk about the next one. Is a Joseph A. Bank Reserve size 48 long sport coat wool silk window pane suit jacket blazer. Sold in 5 days on eBay for $78.47, and I paid $16.23. My profit was $42.13. And these retail probably for about $300. So, a chiton retails for $8,000 to $9,000, but this one I got, a pretty good return on my investment. I would say this experiment worked in my favor, and I would pick up Joseph A. Bank specialty fabrics again, or if it's new with tags or something like that. I think because it is such a common brand that people buy, they know and understand the sizing. Same with Brooks Brothers. I put those two in the same category now, but I wouldn't pick up just every Joseph A. Bank. I would for sure look at style, how new it is. These had a really great pattern and colors as well. The next item is the one I skipped, lands kind of between the 2 sport coats, is the City Chic plus size 22 entwine maxi dress, dark navy blue cocktail formal wedding. You guys have seen this dress a million times by now. I've sold a bunch of the navy. I've sold several of the emerald green and one in black. And here's another one. It sold in 37 days on Mercari. I think the only ones I have left in this style are the emerald that was returned to me with the evaporating stain. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, go and watch my previous video. It's hilarious. And I have a chartreuse, like yellow highlighter color one, and then a lavender. Anyhow, back to this one, sold for $51. I had paid $2.94, and my profit was $41.18. Love this style. If I can find more of the entwine and navy, I will buy them all. I've gotten so many positive feedback messages from customers on this dress, on this style. Everyone loves it, except for the lady who had evaporating stains. All right, next item, third to last in the top 10, is a Ralph by Ralph Lauren size 48 regular navy silk wool slub sport coat suit jacket blazer. I'm selling a lot of sport coats because I'm listing a lot of sport coats. That's how it goes. I had about 15 or 20 that I had in my money pile. And as I mentioned, I'm trying to get all that listed so I can take fewer things back with me, or at least have them ready. So the sport coats, winter coats, all of that is bulkier and heavier. So I definitely want to get those sold if I can. This sold in 3 days on eBay for $69.14. I had paid $3.78 and my profit was $46.51. And another sport coat, Burberry vintage size 40 long sport coat wool herringbone tweed 2-button suit blazer. Sold in 79 days on Poshmark, and it sold for $85. I had paid $2.18 and my profit was $65.83. And the last in the top 10, and then I'll talk about the sales that I ran, is this pair of Red Wing shoes, size 8, wide width, Cool Tech Athletic Works, safety toe, MSRP $175. My sister gave these to me to sell, and I'm splitting the profit with her. This sold in 115 days on eBay. They retail actually for up to $204 is what I show. But anyhow, the price sold for $144.54. My cost of goods was $0, and so my profit was $100.07, and then split that in half because I'm going to give my sister half of that. When I consign things for people, I have to take at least 50% because I'm going to have to pay taxes on it, income taxes. I'm doing all the heavy lifting, and it's taking precedence over something that I could be getting 100% of, So in order for it to be enticing for me at all to do consignment, it has to be at least 50%. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what sales I did. On Poshmark, I tried something a little different than what I've done before. I use Posher VA to send out offers automatically 5 minutes after somebody likes an item. I updated that to send out 50% off offers 5 minutes after somebody likes an item that has been listed for 48 hours or more. So 2 days after an item is listed, any likes that it received, those buyers will receive an offer of 50% off the price. But I also put in a little safety net that I need to make $15 profit or more on these items. So if I'm going to make less than $15 after the fees taken out, it doesn't send the offer. I wouldn't say that was a huge hit. I don't know exactly how many sales I got that way, but what I did to make sure that I didn't sell things too cheap, because one of my city chic dresses sold for like $30 and I easily could have gotten $45 or $50 for that dress, is I went and increased the price on all my higher end things that I wanted to hang on to and didn't want to, clear out. I really raised the price to retail or above. And still, I thought if someone likes it and they get a 50% off offer, it still may be enticing to them. And then I realized that a lot of my lower end items weren't going to be getting in front of people as much because the offers wouldn't be sent out because I wouldn't be making $15 off of them. So I went in and manually changed the price on dozens. I don't know how many, but probably 100 at least items. And I priced them at $5 and $10, just things I'd had for a long time to clear out. And I definitely sold a lot of those, which is awesome. So I did the $5, $10 thing, and I did the 50% off for anything that was like above $40. And I raised my prices on my really nice stuff, but everything else I was just willing to take whatever was given to me. So I would say probably 25% of my items I raised the price, 25% of my items I dropped to $5 or $10, and then the other 50% just was the 50% off offer. I also raised my bundle discount to $30 off of 3 items. I didn't get anything for that. I think I got 1 sale as a result of that. And then on Mercari, I don't really know how to run a sale on Mercari, so I didn't do anything special there. I was just sending meaningful offers when I sent offers. On eBay, I already have promoted listings set to promote everything that's been online 7 days or more. So I continued with that. And then I ran a 30% off sale off of everything, every little thing. I don't even know if I put in a safety net of, things listed within 24 hours or anything. I just 30% off of everything. And I still have that running. I'm going to keep that running until I'm back in Colorado with all of my inventory at my ready. I have vacation mode on there, time away, I think is what they call it on eBay. I have that set so people know I won't be able to ship right away. And then soon I'll be putting my Mercari and Poshmark on vacation hold. So I won't be selling anything there. So that's what I did, and I think it really helped to clear some old things out. However, the lower you price an item, the worse the offers are, I swear. I mean, how can someone lowball you on something that's already priced at $5 or $10? It is possible. I would have something priced at $9 and I would get an offer for $8. Or I had something priced at $10 and I'd get an offer for $4 or $5. I'm like, what is wrong? So I was attracting the cheapskates. That's okay. I mean, I was trying to, right? I was trying to attract the people who wanted a really good deal, but I didn't anticipate how cheap they would be. And they got pretty cheap. And it got annoying. And I was accepting the offers anyway because I was trying to get this stuff out of there. But at one point, I got so annoyed. And I'll talk about two of my lessons learned right now. There's this Izod sweater and this Brooks Brothers tie. Okay, these sold as a bundle on Poshmark. He said, please let me know what you think is reasonable for these two. Thank you. The Brooks Brothers tie was $18 and the Izod sweater was $5. $23 for the bundle, and I sent him an offer for $16. And then he counter offered, I can't remember what he countered, 12 maybe? I was just so annoyed, and I've never used this tactic before. But I sent him a message basically just whining about it. And I said, I sent what I thought was a very reasonable offer per your request, sad face. And he said, okay, if you offer the 16 again, I'll purchase. And he did. And I think he's left me positive feedback. So whining works sometimes. I've never whined to make a sale before, but I did this time because I was just beaten down by these lowball offers off of super high discounted prices. Okay, now we're going to go into the fast flips, and that's things that sold in 14 days or less, so less than 2 weeks. And the first one is a Torrid plus size 2X sweater, pullover, pointel knit, V-neck baby doll chalice. Chalice? I'm not sure. This sold in 13 days on eBay. It was a beautiful color of deep, deep purple. And it sold for $33.94. My cost of goods was $367 and my profit was $14.21. I really wanted to counter offer higher for this one because I thought it was beautiful and I wanted to keep it for myself. And I knew I could get more, but I'm also kept in mind getting rid of inventory. I'm trying to move it. The next item is a Rails size large button-up shirt, linen blend, Madras plaid, pastel long sleeve. I got this at the Dallas bin, so my cost of goods was 80 cents. This sold in 11 days on eBay for $22.08, and my profit was $13.47. I have another Rails shirt. It's a flannel plaid that is so pretty, but it's an extra small. I guess that's why it's taking longer to sell. It's just sitting, but it's so pretty. So if y'all like Rails and you're an extra small and you want a good deal on a flannel, go take a look. Next item is a J. Jill women's plus size 2X Luxe Sapima cotton A-line 3/4 sleeve tunic paisley. I picked this up because I loved the softness of the material, and I like paisleys. It just takes me back to the 90s. This sold in 11 days on eBay for $26.96, and I'd paid $4.32. My profit was $11.75. This was something that a customer accepted my offer, and it sold via promoted listings. Next item is this INC International Concepts size large sweater, silk Angora blend, cowl neck, new. It was new with tags. It sold in 7 days on eBay. I got the sweetest note from the customer afterward. And then she started shopping my closet and looking at other things. And she was just so cute. She offered me 20. I took that. So the price sold was $26.16. No, $26.12. My cost of goods was $5.41 and my profit was $10.90. And she went on and on about how it was going to keep her warm. And I'm just very happy that she was happy. Next item is an Eddie Bauer men's T3XL, that's tall, big and tall sweater, waffle knit, quarter zip charcoal gray. This sold in 4 days on eBay. This was another Dallas Bins item, so I'd paid $2 that day at the bins. That was my average cost of goods per item. Sold for $24.36 and my profit was $9.20. The next fast flip was this retro blue beaded gold tone adjustable double strand necklace. Sold in 1 day on Mercari for $7 and my cost of goods was $0 because this is actually something that belonged to me that I gave to my sister and then she gave back to me to sell and I made $5.80. And I used to wear this a lot when I had to dress up for work and then I no longer had to dress up for work, so I gave all my jewelry to my sister, my costume jewelry. And now she no longer has to go into the office for work, so nobody's wearing necklaces. Except for this person who purchased it, and they left me very nice feedback on Mercari as well. Next item is a St. John's Bay size large quilted plaid flannel shacket shirt jacket pockets gray. This sold same day on eBay for $28.27. I'd paid $1.87. That was my average cost of goods at the garage sale where I picked this up. It was actually a church rummage sale. And my profit was $14.19. And then the last fast flip is something I probably should have listed for way more. It was the Golden Book Vintage Set of 7 by Father John Doe, AA Alcoholics Anonymous Recovery. Sold same day, like within minutes of me listing it, for $20.50. I had paid $2 and my profit was $10.13. I think I probably could have gotten like at least 50 or 60 for this, but I listed it for 15 for a few reasons. One, I didn't want to take back these books to Colorado and risk getting them crushed. Two, it wasn't a complete set. And when I was looking at comps for incomplete sets in the condition that this one was in, I thought $15 was going to be a fair price, but man, it sold fast, and it sold to someone who's going to resell it. The buyer sells all sorts of AA and recovery merchandise, mostly, well, I wouldn't even say mostly books and other things, just all things related to recovery. So that was all my fast flips, and now we'll talk about the lessons learned. The first two are that bundle I was telling you about where I whined to get the sale. First item was the Izod size large mock neck sweater, heather blue half zip cotton natural fabric. This was something I got at the Denver bins, probably one of my first bins trips. Took 554 days to sell on Poshmark. Sold for $8. My cost of goods was $2. My profit was $4.40. Reacher and his squeaky ball. See, if I had taken that lower offer, I wouldn't have made anything probably. And then the other item in that bundle was this Brooks Brothers 346 100% pure silk navy necktie blue career business classic. 330 days to sell on Poshmark. I see you, baby. And it sold for $8. I'd paid $7. And my profit was none. I made less than $1. I didn't make anything. Negative 60 cents. So all in all, I made what, $3.80 on that bundle. Oh boy, yeah, I wouldn't have made anything if I had taken his lower offer. And then the next item is another thing I got at the Denver bins, probably one of my first trips, so I paid about $1. It's the C9 Champion size medium power core duo dry long sleeve workout base layer top. It sold in 570 days on eBay for $10.08. I paid $1. My profit was $2.41. So the lesson learned on that one is the brand. I think that's even the lower end Champion line. So it's just not worth picking up to resell. I can't think of a reason I would. Maybe if it was new with tags in the bins. Maybe. Okay, next is something that was returned to me. Let me tell you on this return. This is also one of the reasons I'm starting to put more item specifics in my description on eBay. This is a Classic size 44 Triple D bra, lightly lined balconette, pink stripe lingerie. Balconette. To me, when I hear that, I know it's going to be a push-up bra. Not a push-up, but an underwire. You know, it may not necessarily have the pads, but a balconette is there to make your boobs shelf-like. I don't know how to describe this. Maybe that's just my understanding, and maybe it's wrong. I don't know. But I expect balconette bras to be underwire. I did not mention anything about underwire, yes or no, on it. But this sold in 82 days on eBay. Sold for $17.40. I had paid $4.87, and so my profit was only $1.65. So for one, my profit was only $1.65 even before the return. But then I got it returned because I didn't mention that it was underwire and she can't wear underwire. They opened an item not as described, which is not good on eBay. That's a ding against you. I need to follow up and make sure I did not get dinged for that. When I called eBay, they said I wouldn't. And I said, well, I'm not going to return shipping costs to her. I'm only going to return the cost of the item because it wasn't my fault that she didn't look at the pictures, and see that there was an underwire. They said I wouldn't get dinged. We'll see. But I also don't think I would sell this again because I got some bad feedback on Mercari once for a bra that I ended up giving her all her money back. And it was a t-shirt bra that had gotten a little dent in it, so you couldn't wear it under a t-shirt. It would show the line, that little dent in the fabric. So now I'm freaked out about denting my bras, and so I would stuff the cups. And this is a Triple D. These are some big cups. It looked like a basketball when I had the cups stuffed and then pushed together. It was, okay, maybe not a basketball, but a dodgeball. Anyhow, I'm so worried about crushing the cups now that storing them is a pain. They take up a lot of space, and then shipping them is a pain because they take up a lot of, a box. I can't just put it in a poly mailer. So I'm not sure if I'm going to sell bras much anymore for that reason. Didn't make much. Had a problem with it. I've had a problem with 2 different bras now, and the whole cup denting situation. Let me know what you think. Next item is another bra, Intimately Free People, size medium bralette, galloon lace, guess that's the name of the style, halter bra, ivory cream. 53 days to sell on eBay. It sold for $11.38. This is just one of those thin fabric, lacy bras. And I had paid $5.40, which is way too much for this kind of thing. I made 34 cents. I was just excited because I'd never seen these bralettes before. And I was like, ooh, Free People. Picking it up at the bins for a couple of quarters, sure. But paying $5.40, that was dumb. My lesson learned here is the cost of goods. Don't do that. And then the last item is the Samuel Hubbard Sam Sport Clogs, leather laser cut slides, US 9.5, UK 7.5, European 40.5. Took 321 days to sell on eBay. I don't like that. And it sold for $28.82. I'd paid $10.87. I made negative $1.63. So these retailed for $195. They were in great condition, so I paid almost $11 for them. And that wasn't good. I shouldn't have done that. Comps did not show that these would be a good pickup, but I didn't look at comps when I picked them up. So there's my lessons learned. I have many, many more because I sold a lot of real cheap shit this last week. Let's see, I made negative 39 cents on 3 items down here. These were in a bundle that I sold on Poshmark that I ended up getting a nasty letter from Poshmark about the weight of the bundle being, or the package being more than $5 and I didn't pay up the shipping. There's a lesson. I made -3 cents on a Halloween costume. You guys know that I don't want to sell those anymore. I made only $1 on some Gap jeans because I was clearing them out on Poshmark, etc., etc. So let me give you the averages. Average days to sell was 133 days, which is higher than my usual and usually what I want to shoot for, but I did get rid of some old stuff. In those, I think that's 10 days. My sales were $2,228.89. My cost of goods was $353.90, and my total profit for those 10 days was $1,062.85. My average price sold was $28.58. Average cost of goods was $4.54. And my average profit per item was $13.63, which is lower than I would like. But again, I cleared some stuff out and I made negative on some items. There were 2 other sales. One didn't get paid for in time to be included in this, and the other one still hasn't been paid for. It's a pair of Crocs, so I don't know. We'll see if they really want them. I'll cancel after 5 days and relist it. Let me go and give you my total totals for the month. And I'm gonna go to Vendoo to do that. They have great analytics. Vendoo is where I originate all of my listings in Vendoo and I publish out to eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, sometimes Depop, sometimes Etsy, sometimes Facebook Marketplace, although I'm really disenchanted with Facebook Marketplace. All right, total revenue for October was $5,884.80, almost $6,000. That's awesome. Before the returns, it was really close to $6,000. Total profit was $3,042.85. Super awesome, about $1,000 more than my average. Hi, Sophie. I sold 182 things. I listed 170 things, and my ASP was $32.33. Let me figure out what my average profit was. Average profit per item was $16.72. I love it. That's good. I would love to get that to $20 one of these days, but that's come up quite a bit in a year. I think my average profit per item was like $10 a year ago. Top selling categories, clothing, because that's mostly what I list. eBay brought in the most revenue and the most profit, with Poshmark being second, Mercari being third, and I did sell one thing on Etsy. Woohoo! Average sales price by marketplace, my Etsy was the highest, but I only sold the one thing. And then eBay, then Poshmark, then Mercari. Now, on eBay, I sold 109 items, 59 on Poshmark, 12 on Mercari. I used to sell a lot more on Mercari. It's crazy. And then the one on Etsy. So insane. So that's it for the month. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this or learned anything. And subscribe if you want to hear more. I do weekly sales updates. I'm usually not so far behind. It's usually within a couple of days after the week is over, but I am moving, got a lot of things going on. And then I do hauls. And in my hauls, I provide comps and sell-through rate and average sales price on what I'm going to be listing so that you can see what they might sell for. And I think that's useful information. It's useful for me to do that research anyhow, and I feel like it's useful to share that with you guys. Strategies for the upcoming month is just kind of hang in there while I'm moving. And then I really want to get to $200 of profit a day. That's really where I need to be to make this a full-time thing. It's going to be a while before I can get there. It just is. My profit for October, which is my highest month ever, was $98 a day. $98.16 a day. So I'll need to double that and then some. And so I'll need to be listing, what did I say I listed? So I'll need to be listing like 350 things a month, assuming that I would have the same number of sales, basically. That's a lot. that is a lot, and I'm gonna try to get there. We shall see. It's gonna be hard in the last 2 months of the year, but we shall see. I don't know if I'm gonna have any bloopers. If you watch me normally, I try to put a little blooper in the cold open and after the credits, but I'm not sure anything funny actually happened other than my negative sales. But it was my best month ever, so we'll celebrate that. Thank you guys, and just keep listening. I am going to have my shit together. I'll probably cut that out.